Allow you to step down. Okay, we have a question submitted here. We'll start with you, Mr. Marks, go left to right. It's a pretty basic question, but I think it's a pretty telling one. And it was actually asked for the tax collector position, but I think it's appropriate to be asked of the Board of Commissioner as well. The question is, why do you want to be a Board of Commissioner?
I have a very honest question for that. I've served on boards and commissions in the township for the past almost 16 years. I currently serve on the Whitehall Township Veterans Memorial Committee. We're building a wonderful Veterans Memorial in front of the township building. Its dedication is going to take place on Memorial Day at 1 p.m. I honorably served in our Marine Corps. I'm a veterans advocate. I feel very strongly that the veterans were forgotten and that, for their service and their sacrifice, they should be remembered. The reason why I think I serve my community is I actually want my children to stay here in the community so I don't have to drive to Washington, D.C. and visit my grandchildren. I know it's sort of selfish, but I think we have a wonderful community here, and I would love to have my children raise their children here.
Mr. Fernandez.
Well, essentially, I want to give back. This community has been fantastic to me. I moved here when I was 5 years old. My grandfather taught at the high school, which caused my mother to want to raise her family here. And I care deeply because I've been here, I came back, went to school in New York, came back. I feel I have a skill set a knowledge set with the environmental issues in this area that I can give and make sure we keep everyone safe in this area. I also enjoy volunteering and showing how much I care. So I think I can bring great energy and passion to this area that is needed and could be useful.
Mr. Clary.
I would kind of echo the same thing as Tony said. I'm running for a simple reason to give back. I've been in, like I said, I've been a resident and lifelong resident of this community since I'm 4 years old. It's all I know. I'm as Whitehall as they come. I always tell a story when my wife and I, 15, 16 years ago, we were looking for places to live. We didn't think very hard on where we were going to go. Whitehall was the place we were going to stay. It's the place where both of us work. Both of us live now. We're raising our family. It's exactly what we want out of a community. I want to see that continue. I want to see the community get stronger, hopefully through an increase in volunteer work with the community, and I look forward to making those things happen as being a part of the board.
Great. Thank you. Mr. Panetta, we'll start with you first with the next question. We have a question here from the audience. Due to our aging population in Whitehall Township, how do you, as a commissioner, propose to address this growing demographic and the challenges that we'll be facing over the next 10, 20 years or more?
Well, it is growing. It is important that we show that care and we show their importance in our community. The current commissioner boards, especially Mr. Dutt, worked hard to provide a senior center. And if we can work to expand on that and make that flourish, that would be a fantastic thing for the senior community. We also have to work hard to make sure that seniors have the ability to live here comfortably and keeping their tax burden as low as possible, while keeping the services, of course, in the township as equal level. So if we can expand on the programs that are given at the senior center and watch that grow, I think that'll be a very important part of showing a community, senior community that wants to stay here and is felt welcome and thanked in this area.
Thank you. Mr. Perry?
The senior center, I think, was a tremendous idea, and I kind of wanted to, one of the things that I was hoping to speak about in my opening 3 minutes, I thought it was the opportunity to potentially have a community and recreation center down the road. Is my understanding with the project, with the hopeful project of the Emergency Services Center, that we have some land or some ability to maybe expand on that, or at least add the community rec center, something that I'm very passionate about, something I think would be phenomenal for this area. But I would echo the same thing, that I'm not looking to add any extra taxes to anybody that is certainly on any kind of a fixed income. That is not something that I want to do. In fact, my mom's in that particular situation currently as well. So not something that I want to do, but I do think that that's a concern and certainly a need for the area for certain folks that it can strengthen the community.
Mr. Marks?
If I could piggyback on these two gentlemen, I commend Mr. Dutt and his committee for the senior center. I was at the dedication ceremony. It was an unbelievable turnout. I know there's a real need. You know, we have a lot of widows and widowers. And, you know, the interaction and the everyday, loneliness that can come about is a very important characteristic of society, to have those people and give them the ability to get out, meet new people, participate in activities. I'm a strong advocate of it. Hopefully we'll see it grow. As Sean had indicated, possibly, with the new public safety building, maybe we can incorporate a larger space because it was at max capacity that day. The other thing is, I talk to a lot of our infirm, our elderly in the township. I realize you're on fixed incomes. It's hard. A lot of people are suffering. My MO is, I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm never going to raise your taxes, because there's so many moving pieces to a municipality, a township. It's a tough cookie to crack. Pension liabilities, salaries, fuel costs, equipment, it goes on and on. Can I just close? What I'd like to say is, I'm fixed on trying to do the best and in the most economical way to help our seniors get through their day-to-day. Thank you.
Mr. Perry, we'll start with you next. There's a question from the audience. As commissioner, what are your plans to build Whitehall's infrastructure?
Well, I thought about, and I continue to think about ways to attract business and to continue to grow our changing economy. I think about the retail and some of the retail businesses that have moved out and what to do with their current space. I think about with some of the e-commerce and the effect that that's had on some of the retail industries. I think that is something that needs to be addressed. Discussions need to be about what maybe potential businesses to bring in, and maybe either tax deductions or tax break, or maybe breaks on the fees or permits and things like that to increase businesses that are coming into Whitehall.
Okay. Mr. Marks?
Well, I just participated in the adaptive reuse ordinance. I was the only commissioner who voted against it consistently. I wasn't opposed to the adaptive reuse measure. What I was opposed to was the bullying that took place by federal bureaucrats and the way they went about the way they did things. I've had some experience with state and federal bureaucracies. It's unfortunate that they came into our community and they marked us the way that they did. The adaptive reuse ordinance was a great concept and a great idea. It's very beneficial to the township because we take these blighted properties that are just paying minimum on tax rolls, we redevelop them and make them active, vibrant, businesses, buildings, and we collect more tax revenues on it. Unfortunately, for all the goodness and thought that was put into that ordinance, it's in my opinion that, and hopefully moving forward, it will work if there aren't any legal challenges to it. It's unfortunate that you try to do something good for your community. You take 3 steps forward, but it seems you take 10 steps back then. So I'm hoping for the best.
Mr. Panetta?
To echo what Commissioner Marks has said, it's unfortunate what has happened with the adapt and reuse. You want to help local community, but there's federal statutes, and then they tend to want certain things, and they don't understand your community's in local level, you understand your community more than a state or federal bureaucrat would. And as he stated, having these buildings that are empty full brings tax revenue, which helps the community, and having the reused building, readapted building also has an aesthetic feeling to it, which will bring even more people to the community. I would like to see recognition for local businesses that have been here for a long time, to keep them here through a certificate program that, so they feel more part of the community. And I think that will also encourage more businesses to come to the area. The Lehigh County is changing rapidly economically. And I think Whitehall is in a prime position to be a part of that, since we're right next to the city of Allentown, and Whitehall itself is amazing.